Welcome, everyone, to another week of BTVR. Here, today, we have a first for us. Well, actually, no, it's a second for us. We have a world that we created. And it is to celebrate
Yay.
the Perseverance
As a
rover
team, yes.
landing. Yes, as a team, we did this. The BTVR
Yeah,
team.
so
As
it
other
is the
worlds.
first as a whole team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, first as a whole team. Yeah.
But this,
Oh,
this is all the baby of Scout's mind. Scout had this brilliant
yes,
idea.
the
So
brainchild.
I think Scout should go first in telling us about this idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? Well, so it was the day of the Mars rover landing, and I was really excited, and I was watching the stream, and I thought, oh, I wonder, like, I'd really like to see the Mars rover. I wonder if there's a world we could go to see the scale of it, because it's really cool. And I wondered, oh, I wonder if there's like a model available. And thanks to NASA and them sharing things nice and making things available open source, there was a download available of the rover. And I thought, okay, well, if that's available, and I haven't found anything in VRChat where you can actually go to Mars where the rover is and hang out with it, I thought someone should make that. And then about 10 minutes later, I was like, I guess that someone could be me. I could make that. So
Why not?
why not?
Absolutely.
That seems fun. Yep.
It should be
And
you.
so that's how this. Oh, well, thank you. Well, I thought I could give it a shot, see what happened, and then I shared that in the group chat with the rest of the crew, and everyone was like, that sounds fun. And then, yeah, then this
Meanwhile,
happened.
I was in a meeting, so I was like, I don't know what's going on. The chat's very active.
I was working.
Yeah, right.
Hmm. And so wonderful that NASA provides so much material that's for open education. Lots of
Yeah.
models and
Resource guides.
resource guides. Yeah, their website has like so much information and lots of really interesting ways to present things, which is just great. I love that. It's really important to think about space programs as more than just the going to space. There's a lot more to it.
Exactly.
So, shall we go and
who
speak
wants
to these
to-
things?
Yeah.
Scout, you're up first.
Let's go over to the rover. Okay, well, come over here.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hee.
Ah.
I'm safe
What
on
shows
Mars.
up?
Yeah, it's only up for like maybe
Oh,
5
that's
seconds, but it
cool.
comes up again every time you come over. But we wanted to kind of have it.
It's
pop
just
up.
like when you're on Twitter.
Yeah,
you only
it's
look
there
at it for 5 seconds.
and then,
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And you move on.
Oh, jeez.
No, come on.
Anyway, so what I can say is that I used a shader from Silent to make this this kind of glowing rusty Mars dust sand stuff that we have going on here, and I'm really happy with how it looks. That was I think it turned out to be a really important part of the world. It really makes it feel more alive. But yeah, so the blowing sand, really loved that. Got these models in here. Dylan animated the copter, which is super great. That was added in the second load up. So I love the animation on that. So cool. Yeah. Do you want to talk about creating the music for this world? Because it's so awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so I left my meeting and Scout was already like way into getting the models in, and I was like, oh, that's fun. I want to contribute as well. So I was like, oh, I'll make a soundtrack and for background music. And so I started off with just kind of watching some YouTube videos of like science videos for learning about planets. I think I watched one from like National Geographic just as reference to see like, because there was a certain feel that I wanted to capture. I didn't want it to seem scary, but I wanted it to feel like space. I mean, obviously there's no soundtracks in space, but like when you're watching a space movie and it's like, it's something pretty calm, atmospheric, and but like has little intriguing elements in it. So you feel like you're kind of like going into like your own movie of I'm gonna explore Mars. So that was kind of what I was going for. And once I figured out kind of the instruments I was looking for, and things like that, I got some samples off of a subscription site, Splice. Um, and I found a really great album that was all like kind of space themed and it was perfect. And so I pulled down ones that I like, grouped them by the key that they were in, and then just started to do like a rough arrangement. And then from there, I uh, did a whole bunch of MIDI tracks to tie it together. Um, so it's like I think a couple layers of samples and then like 3 or 4 more layers of MIDI tracks. So I ended up with 3 parts because I wanted it to be long enough that it also didn't feel too repetitive. So there's 3 sections and it goes through different keys and with transitions between them, like brief transition. Um, and so it's almost 7 minutes long. And so I showed, we met on Discord in the evening when John was done work, and I played the first kind of round of the composition, and that kind of went over well. So I was like, okay, yay, good. And then I spent the next many hours doing effects and leveling and reverb and um, um, like all kinds of like adjustments to the midis, arpeggiators, like all kinds of things. And then we ended up with this, I guess. Yeah, by the evening, late in the evening.
So
New Planet.
just
That's
to
awesome.
show
Oh my gosh,
our
Dylan.
users what that's like, I have my
Yeah.
world volume down really low. I'm actually going to turn it up right now so that way people can hear. So you can hear the music, but you can also hear kind of the wind right now.
And if you look in the distance, it's even more effective.
Yeah.
It's just so much like a desert on Earth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kevin needs
it's
to
a
now
gorgeous
show us
shot.
his wonderful helper.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
This is a
segue.
new addition as of
Because
last night.
Dylan helped and John helped with making this little literal puppy come alive. Might have been walking
But
away.
where is it? I don't see
I
it.
don't know where I. Oh, there we are. Sorry, I'm in desktop mode.
So we have the little helicopter down over there. We're going to go check that out. And then, poof! It pops up.
Boom. So our little robot helper is named Sophia 1. It's named after a real dog that my friend Natty, who goes by Illuminati, who's a DJ and a VR artist in her own right. And I made it last year. I made Sophia last year for Sculpt January, but because I knew that we had such a short turnaround time, I knew that we had one day to really, really pull this off. I was like, no, I don't have time to make this from scratch. So it was great to like look through my Sketchfab models and find Sophia was there. And I'm like, this feels right. Sophia would be pretty at home on Mars. And the fun fact about Sophia is that she's all made with VR tools from the ground up, from the sculpting, which was all done in Adobe Medium, and then the animation was all done in Tavori.
Which Kevin has some great live
Wow.
streams on his Facebook, showing how to use Tavori and how to use Medium.
Yeah, so that's been a really, it's just great to like we're in a VR world, but it's also like being able to showcase something that is totally made within that pipeline. And also, and I think for me it came from the whole aspect of like what can we bring that's also slightly whimsical to this world and make you feel very welcome. hence the welcome message right here, which
Indeed.
I also helped design.
So cute.
And that
Love the
was
text.
with the thinking of like, yeah, and I was very inspired by, when we visit Lacuza's worlds, for instance, which I don't know if those are proximity triggered as well, which you can totally talk to.
Good question.
John.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you get close to some character in his worlds, they always pop up with these type of text messages, and I thought, well, that's a really nice kind of intuitive way to trigger interactions. And so that goes with the factoids over here, right? This
Which,
whole
if I move
panel,
away,
actually.
they all disappear,
Yeah.
and I come back, and they all
Mhm.
pop up.
And also one more shout out to Silence as well, of the VRC prefabs community, because I used Silence shader on the dialogue on Sophia.
Nice.
So yeah.
She's so cute.
Pop it
I
up
like
one more
just
time.
backing up and then just coming back so she comes out again.
Yeah. Her little loop.
Cute.
It really adds a lot
My
of like
pleasure.
fun to the world and makes it feel less like lonely,
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
So that way, if you
So
come in
cool.
here to chill by yourself, you're not alone. You have Sophia 1.
Never alone. Just pop out of the stand with you.
So, on that note, do you want to tell us, John, about some of the things that you created for this world? Because there's a cool
Yeah.
thing on this board here.
So, my job, or the things I contributed to this project, has been a lot of the interaction. So the proximity sensors, which the collider, using colliders didn't work for some reason, wasn't working. So I actually created a proximity sensor to determine when things needed to pop up, and then Dylan was able to take that asset and use it themselves. So
Yeah.
Woo!
just had to
There was like
make it accessible.
animated things that had to like work with that too. Yeah. So I had to like learn / sort of relearn how to do the animations in Unity because I haven't touched that in like
Yay.
2 years.
And then the other thing I did was this timer that you see here. So, we plug in, we didn't have a timer actually that existed that had what we wanted, where we wanted the days, hours, minutes, seconds. Everything, all the timers that we could find were only hours, minutes, and seconds, and could only go up to a small amount of hours relatively. When this might be up for, years, and the hours could only handle maybe a couple weeks worth, it wouldn't work for us. So I had to make our own timer that took in the date, figured out your time, figured out then of the different parts, then parse it out, and
Did you want to talk about the other timer that do you want to talk about that or no?
yes. So we do have another timer coming in because, for us, Perseverance has been here for 2 days already. But how many days on Mars has it been for Perseverance? Because Mars is further away, a day and spins differently. A day is different than on Mars. A day is 37 minutes longer. And an hour is always defined as 1/24th of a day, and so on. So we actually have a separate timer giving what's called the sol days, and sol hours, sol minutes, sol seconds, which sol is a reference for Mars time, or a Mars day. So that way you can see how many days has it been for Perseverance on Mars, not just for you.
So
That's
cool.
so neat.
Perspective.
That's gonna be in the next update.
Yes. And then we
That's
also
so cool, and thank you so much.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
we also do have a menu.
Cool.
Hey,
Sorry.
I gotcha.
Oh, let me check myself. La la la.
Going behind the sign there as well.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
lots of ideas of things we could do, and
Yeah.
we want to make sure it's like a a really fun and also, really educational. Every time people come, hopefully they can learn more about the Mars mission and what's been going on and what the rover's up to. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. So, we do have a world that we have to get to, but I also want to
Yes.
show what it's like to be up on the ridge when you go somewhere high. Because,
Yeah.
of course, what does
Yeah.
John do? He has to go climb everything.
Gotta go.
Good. Oh, I got that fully running. Whee! Oh, this is a cool view from here.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Look at that.
As we get higher, the dust layer starts taking over and you stop seeing the base. So this map is gigantic.
Oh, so it just keeps going. I just assumed
Oh,
it
yeah.
stopped it.
Like, when I zoomed out in Unity, I'm like,
Ooh.
we're using such a small piece of the whole map.
Pretty nice too.
I know. Skin of Earth.
Whoa! Whoa!
Maybe we'll have to put teleporters to good locations on the
Yeah.
map somewhere so people can get around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. So where are we going to put the
We can
cantina?
actually set up a picnic somewhere.
There we go.
Mhm.
We need a cantina. The Mars Isley Cantina.
The
Nice.
Mars Isley Cantina.
Mars
Oh
Isley.
my gosh.
Whoa! That's not copyright, or that's not copyright free.